One of the most difficult aspects of being a type 1 diabetic parent is having patience. Let me explain. Nothing in diabetes is instantaneous, although the anxiety of something bad happening is so quick, right? So it's like a contradiction. Like insulin is not instantaneous and low carbs are not instantaneous. Food is not instantaneous, but everything else feels very instantaneous. Like dropping is very quick, rising is very quick, and it's exhausting. So last night is a prime example of that. My daughter wanted to have some Ruffles for a little treat last night, and I said, that's totally fine, right? So I pre-bolus her, get her to a good range, give her, I think it was like 2.75 units for the Ruffles because she was at a good number. And it slowly starts to, bring her up, which I thought was normal. But then we get to about this point, which is normally when, we have now had it in our system for about 30, 45 minutes. It usually will kind of taper off or the arrow will start to turn, right? Arrow's not turning. Arrow's going up. So I start to get a little nervous. I'm like, maybe I didn't give her enough because she was low to start. So I give her another half unit. Nothing's happening. At night, she tends to be a little bit more resistant to insulin and also tends to shoot up already. That's just like a natural phenomenon with her. I don't know why that is. So I was a little nervous. And sometimes when that happens, if we do go up really high, she's really hard to get down again. So I think I gave her a total of another unit. So maybe 3.75, which wasn't crazy for Ruffles, but also it wasn't a huge portion. It was about 2 servings. So of course I give the last unit and now all of a sudden we start to turn. Why? Okay. So it starts to turn. But in my head, I'm like, okay, that's fine. We need that insulin to finally kick in. So it starts to bring her down. I put her to bed. It's already late, right? It's already nighttime. No one sleeps when you have a type 1 diabetic kid. Nobody's sleeping ever. If you do, it's rare. So she starts to go down and I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'm watching it, staring at my phone. I've never prayed to arrows and numbers so much my entire life than until her diagnosis. Going down, going down, going down. Then it gets to the point that it's about starting to see that we're going to hit 70, right? She's not going to turn because sometimes she'll bring her all the way down and then she'll just turn and it's so nice and pretty and we love that. Nope, not going to turn. So we're like, okay, we need to go get her up. So we wake her up. She is not feeling good. Her stomach's not feeling good. So she doesn't want to eat crackers or anything like that. So we give her juice. We usually do about 1/3 of juice and 3 crackers to kind of level her out and keep her throughout the night. You give the juice when they're at 70, but then you're hearing the Dexcom alerts, okay? And if you don't have diabetes or a kid with diabetes, it is like a blaring alarm. Beep, beep, right? And then as they slowly start to drop again, beep, beep. They start to drop, beep, beep, which again, it's supposed to wake you up. And it's very important to have the beep, beeps. But your anxiety, every time it beep, beeps and you see those numbers are dropping quickly, the anxiety just is escalating. We're just escalating, right? So we're just giving more juice, more juice, more juice. To the point where we gave the full juice, which she got down to 40. 40. And that was in a 15-minute span of time. So anyways, we're doing finger pokes while all of this is happening. So this is accurate, okay? So she finally starts to kind of go back up and we're like, yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. But now we gave her all these carbs. So it gets to the point where we start to see her go up, arrows going up again, and I'm like, and it's a debate, okay? Nothing is instantaneous, but also now we have all this sugar in her bloodstream. Did we just spike her to 300 in the middle of the night? So then we go and we give a 1/4 dose of insulin for 15 carbs, even though she had probably about 40. Give her about 15. And she starts to go back down. You're like, no! No, stop. Anyways, so after you cry or something, it's like that debate. Do you stop the arrow, right? Do you let them go all the way back down? No. So we get to about 100 and the arrow's pointing down and we're like, no, we're not doing this again. So we had her finish almost the whole juice before. So we just have her finish the last little bar and eat a cracker. Okay. And it finally gets to the point, it goes back up. Okay, and I'm seeing it. I'm like, this roller coaster is exhausting. Let me off the train. And my poor kid, right? She's trying to sleep. I want her to sleep. And yeah, these are the moments that break your heart where you're like, I wish I could just do it. I would do it. I would stay up all night managing it for myself. It's not fair that she has to do it. But anyways, we can't change it. So she starts to go back up. At this point, I'm like, we're done. We're not touching it. We're going to let it ride the course. She has a pump. It has background basal insulin going. We're going to see what happens. So she goes up to about 200. It's now 2:30 in the morning. Okay. No sleepy. And she gets about 200 and it starts to slowly bring her back down. I'm like, okay. So at about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, I see that little turn and I finally go to sleep. Mostly I'm sharing because one, just keeping it real. Keeping it real. Two, if you're going on the roller coaster, I'm sending you lots of love and just know you're not alone. And three, just sharing, because I don't think sometimes people think like, the needle pokes, they suck, right? There's a lot of obvious things that suck. But the patience and the anxiety of this, it's a different level when you're a parent, right? You're already worried about your kid all the time. But then the amount of patience that you have to have based on something that is so detrimental is just really painful and really difficult. So just, sharing our experience. I don't know, have you ever experienced this with your kid? Am I the only one who starts to get the anxiety when it just keeps going up, and it has overdosed? Anyways, I hope you have a straight line today.